One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet whom millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Trump, everybody they know, they gonna vote for Donald Trump, that's the way it goes. All over America, all over the USA, they voted for Donald Trump, that's what I'm trying to say. Election is over, everyone can see. Donald Trump is now the president of your country. Election is over, everyone can see. Donald Trump is now the president of your country. I want to make America great again.
Woo!
I want to lower the taxes. I want to bring all American business back from overseas back to the USA, baby.
There we go.
Ooh, yeah, Donald Trump is now the president of your country. Election is over, everybody can see. Donald Trump is now the president of your country. Election is over, everyone can see. Donald Trump is now the president of your country.
I just love those guys. I'm going to have to make them a regular staple of the show. Well, we got a big news day today, which involves this show, my 3 o'clock show, and then my 7 o'clock show. This show, not sure how it's going to work out. We've already had some technical difficulties, not on my end, but on the feed from a couple of the news stations. So let me just set the stage for you. Let me just show you basically how the day has transpired thus far. me watching this, it really did seem like it was the return of the king. Those of you who have seen Lord of the Rings.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
It really, truly is to me like the return of the king. And what I meant by that was, if you saw Lord of the Rings and the exiled king had to come back and reclaim his throne, this is what's happening today. Donald Trump is reclaiming the throne that I believe, and many of you believe, was taken from him. So the first stop he made was to make a speech in front of the House Republicans. Here's where things started breaking down. I was ready to go live. Well, I'm just going to let you see what happened here.
Well, thank you very much. This is a very nice gathering. Isn't it nice? It's nice to win. It's always nice to win. A lot of good friends in this room. So, you know we had like historic kind of numbers, especially for the president, but we won't get into that. But the House did very well, and I think we're responsible for 31, helping you with 31, meaning we could have lost by quite a bit, and we ended up, I guess you'll be 5 up. Are you looking at 5 or 4? 5 or 4, right? Doesn't matter. We get used to 1 for a little while. When you can get used to 1, you can get used to anything. So I just want to thank everybody. You've been incredible. We worked with a lot of you to get you in, and you helped me, and you helped me too. And my numbers were, so they say, the 129 years is the most important election in 129 years. That's pretty good. I said, who is the 129 years? What was that, Doc Ronnie? Who's 129 years ago? I'd never looked, because it started at being 100, and then they upped it to that, but it's a great compliment. We won the majority by 7.1 million. We won, which is great, because Republicans aren't supposed to be winning the majority, Marjorie. You know that, right? And we won that, and we won it every way, all 7 swing states by a lot. And then Michigan was great, couldn't be better, I'll tell you. Michigan was great, and we had a couple of people, almost New Jersey is right, just a few points. It's got them very worried, because they say, well, next time if we go up even a fraction of what we went up, you're going to win New York, you're going to win New Jersey, you're going to win places that weren't winnable. California, too. I think without one speech, without campaigning at all in California.
So, don't know what happened, but somebody at the facility, they cut the feed. The man's talking, giving his speech to some of the House GOP, and they cut the feed. Fox lost it. CNN lost it. Everybody lost it. They just said, nope, that's it. That's all we want you to hear. So that was just very weird. So I was getting ready, set to go live with it and talk to you guys about it. And for some reason, that was it. They let us hear 2 minutes, and then the camera started freaking out. I guess they were telling people, get out, get out, get out. So we don't really understand why they cut the feed. But there's going to be some strange stuff going on in Washington, no doubt, as things begin. I'm monitoring the show right now to make sure all the stuff they're going to show us when he meets Biden, we're going to go right to it as soon as possible. But in the interim, I want to go back to last night while we're waiting for the 11 o'clock meeting. We have like 5 minutes or so, depending on the schedule. But the 11 o'clock meeting was really interesting to me because, not the 11 o'clock, last night was really interesting because this whole thing with Pete Hegseth has caused a tremor, an earthquake across the deep state. The deep state is absolutely freaking out. They don't want any parts of Pete Hegseth being the next Department of Defense. It's okay that you had, a person running, Kamala Harris, who has no concept of anything. That we're supposed to just look the other way. It's no problem that you had some guy who wore a dress and was in charge of nuclear waste. It's no problem that Pete Buttigieg, who has no idea about transportation, as we have found out, you didn't have any problem with that, but you have a complete problem, anything to do with somebody as patriotic as Pete Hegseth becoming the next Secretary of Defense. So I want to show you this. This is a little piece of what we showed last night, and then I've got a montage of actual things that Pete Hegseth has said. And to me, after reviewing these things, I think this guy is a perfect person for the job.
If you're a Democrat national security person, you're thinking between the MAGA Trump people and the establishment Trump people. The MAGA Trump people are worse from your perspective. So when you look at the Secretary of Defense, the National Security Advisor, any of these positions, you're happy when the center-right-ish, semi-cold on Ukraine guy gets the nod rather than the guy who thinks that Ukraine is like, the aggressor, or that, that they have biolabs or whatever. So it seems pretty clear that the establishment Republicans are winning so far.
A few moments later.
Donald Trump has announced that he's nominating Fox News host Pete Hegseth to serve as Secretary of Defense. Pete's a decorated Army combat vet who did tours in Iraq and Afghanistan and has been a fierce advocate for veterans on and off the air. He's a Princeton and Harvard guy and a great husband and father and one of our favorite people here at Fox. No one loves America more than Pete, and no one will defend our interests at home and abroad with more seriousness and strength. So, Kaylee, Pete Hegseth could be the next Secretary of Defense. What the heck? Can you believe it?
I mean, look, I was stunned when I saw it, but then it made all the sense in the world. I was with Pete Hegseth. I was guest hosting the weekend show on October 8th, so the day after the horrific October 7th attack. We started at like 5 a.m. that day, Jesse. And there's Pete Hegseth at 4:58 a.m. at the wall with a map of the Middle East, naming every single country by heart and the interplay between the actors and how geostrategically this would work if there was a larger conflict. So this is the guy for the job. Smart, patriotic, can't say enough good things about him. It makes sense, and it also helps that the guy you're looking at is central casting, Jesse.
Yes, central casting, something Donald Trump always looks for.
I am honored to announce that I've nominated Pete Hegseth to serve in my cabinet as the Secretary of Defense. Pete friggin' Hegseth. Pete has spent his entire life as a warrior for the troops and for the country. Pete is tough, smart, and a true believer in America first. With Pete at the helm, America's enemies are on notice. Our military will be great again, and America will never back down. Pete friggin' Hegseth from Fox News. Also, he's been involved in the military. Pete Hegseth is the new Secretary of Defense, and I guarantee you didn't see that on X anywhere. So when people start saying, hey, there's a rumor that this person's going to be the so-and-so. Really? Where'd you find that out? Who told you? Because obviously, Trump ain't telling anybody shit. They are so tight right now. I absolutely love it. They are so friggin' tight that no leaks are really getting out. Except maybe the ones they want to. This administration, unlike the guy on CNN, is all MAGA. I mean, there's basically every single person he's picking right now. And this dude on television said, well, you know what? Here's what's going on. The establishment is winning. Really? Really? Funny. Pete Hegseth isn't establishment.
The Pentagon is in the book, the exact amount of years, but in the past X number of years, 10, 12, 15, the Pentagon has a perfect record in all of its war games against China. We lose every time inside the Pentagon war games. We know what our real capability. You see, we didn't even get to this part of the war on warriors. I mean, the military-industrial complex, the way we procure weapon systems. We're always, the way our system works, the way our bureaucratic system works, where the speed of weapons procurement works, we're always a decade behind in fighting the last war. Whereas China, we have, what did Rumsfeld say? You go to the war of the army you have. We have the army. China's building an army specifically dedicated to defeating the United States of America. That is their strategic outset. Take hypersonic missiles. So if our whole power projection platform is aircraft carriers and the ability to project power that way strategically around the globe, and yeah, we have a nuclear triad and all of that, but a big part of it. And if 15 hypersonic missiles can take out our 10 aircraft carriers in the first 20 minutes of a conflict, what does that look like?
Wow.
I mean, and when if they've already got us by the balls economically, which you pointed out very well, with our grid. Culturally, there's plenty of elite capture going on around the globe. I mean, and then microchips and everything. Why do they want Taiwan? They want to corner the market completely on the technological future. We can't even drive our cars without the stuff we need out of China these days. I mean, they have a full spectrum, long-term view of not just regional but global domination, and we have our heads up our asses.
Yeah.
And
community by community.
Sounds like a guy who knows what he's talking about. Pete Hegseth sounds specifically like a guy, and he can converse on this level way above any television host. They're trying to demean him by calling him a television host. That conversation right there was just a small part of what I have to show you about Pete Hegseth. If you've just seen him on Fox or see him swimming in the river and you think that maybe that was everything you needed to know about Pete Hegseth, then you really don't know him. Let me just go ahead and skip to a screen as we're looking here. This is Trump is heading to the White House right now. He's heading to the White House. Interesting enough, this morning they said that he has stopped the idiocy about replacing Speaker Johnson. He says he fully endorses Speaker Johnson. Let it go. Leave him. So I'm not sure what exactly happened there, but as you can see, and they keep cutting the feed. I don't know why, but that's on Fox. You can tell it's live because you can see the other stuff happening, but the other feeds keep getting cut. So as the motorcade with Trump is now entering the White House, an area that he is truly familiar with and probably can't wait to get back inside. So his motorcade has safely entered the White House. As we go to this is before when he was talking where they cut it. Let's see if they've got any new stuff we can listen into.
I'd like historic kind of numbers, especially for the president, but we won't get into that. But the House did very well. But we worked with a lot of you to get you in, and you helped me, and you helped me too. And my numbers were, so they say, the 129 years is the most important election in 129 years. That's pretty good.
Today's traditional presidential transition meeting could be an awkward one. Biden and his fellow Democrats are likely still hurting from their crushing defeat in last week's election. Many of them have been quite emotional.
I don't really care that they're crushed. People have said they're emotional. They said they're crying in the White House because you got to get out. Pack your crap and get out. Not our fault. We don't really care. That's what's going on. So let's continue with some information on Pete.
School board by school board, city by city, state by state, and across this nation, there is a Marxist political movement, call it culturally Marxist, call it progressive, call it what you want, that seeks the destruction of Western civilization and Judeo-Christian values, America being the most obvious representative of that over the last 250 years.
Now you know why, part of the reason why they're terrified of him. He's calling them out straight up. I hadn't seen, the clips I'm going to show you, I hadn't seen until I put these things together, and I'm like, the dude's impressive. The dude is very impressive.
That is their goal. The White House is staffed by pro-Palestinian millennials. It is, whose reflex is to tweet both sidesism. You know, hey, both sides are responsible. That's their reflex. In fact, the Palestinian branch of the State Department in Israel tweeted something just like that right away and then deleted it. That's their instinct inside the DNA of the modern Democrat. Blame both sides. Calm down, everybody. I watched Palestinian, it weren't just terrorists, this is an army, go in and pull grandmas out and murder women and children. And what Israel's about to do is bring hell down on Hamas if they do it right. I mean real war, not like TV war. Real war, stacking bodies, dead people. Because Bibi Netanyahu's not going to mess around here. What happens when that happens? Will the pro-Palestinian millennials stay off their Twitter keep? I don't think they're going to be able to resist, let alone the squad. So it's going to take real fortitude to actually stand behind Israel.
And people outside these walls, some of the press that are covering this, they don't understand the attachment that conservatives and freedom lovers have to Donald Trump, to the former president. They don't get it. They think it's some sort of a misinformation, cultish thing, cult of personality. Oh, they love the bravado. That's not what it is. I'll explain why we love them in one military analogy. I was a platoon leader in Iraq. I was an infantry platoon leader in the Army. And the one situation you know is the most dangerous situation that you don't want to find your platoon stuck in is what's called a near ambush. So you're walking through a neighborhood and you walk into a near ambush, meaning the enemy has the high ground, they're concealed, and you're stuck in what's called the kill zone on the X, and they've got you pinned down. Rifles, grenades, everything. You're right there in the kill zone. You don't want to be there. You're dead if you're in the kill zone, for the most part, unless you act. Okay? The battle drill for being in the kill zone of a near ambush is definitely not crouch down and hope you survive. Because that's never going to happen. Your only option is to immediately seek cover, immediately pop your grenade, throw it, and then charge toward the enemy that you still can't see. That's your only option if you want to survive. This is all metaphorically, of course, for the media out there. Right? Caveat necessary. It's your only hope. All right? Well, Republicans for decades, for years, have sat in the kill zone and said, just kind of like us, we're okay. We're not that bad. We're okay, we're nice behind our podiums, dressed up like this, hey everybody, we're going to cut taxes just a little bit more. It doesn't work. Donald Trump said it's time to throw the grenades and charge at the enemy.
I'm just going to say it,
That's the kind of guy I want out front. That is the kind of guy leading the Department of Defense. None of this woke crap. Just go ahead and tear that woke crap down, Pete. Just rip it apart, shred it, put it into little tiny pieces and piss it off into the air. We want real men running stuff for other real men. I love this analogy about being caught in the kill zone and not cowering, which is what the Republicans have done for so long. They don't even understand this kind of testosterone, it seems like, anymore. This DEI woke crap is permeated through the entirety of the military, and you got a guy right now who's completely the opposite, who wants to take these people on, foreign and domestic terrorists. Let's just do what we have to do, and that terrifies the deep state. Well, maybe they should be. Maybe they should be afraid. I'm tired of pussyfooting around people with their feelings. Maybe it's time for you to feel afraid, feel offended, and learn how to deal with it like a real man should.
Classic Marxism. This is Marxism the same way you would use it's dialectic warfare. So the dialectic warfare of shape people so that the incentive structure is set up for you to be following a political institution and a political set of ideals and a political set of these correct values, ideologies, etc., to get you to the top. Whereas, I'm sure when you were in uniform, when I was in uniform, I didn't talk politics. I wasn't interested in talking politics. It isn't about politics. Never. It's about what are we doing to accomplish the mission and achieve the commander's intent. That's it, because that's what we signed up for. So we don't care, liberal, Democrat, whatever it is, but you start to see these things along the way that they politicize the military the same way they politicize any institution. And then once they've conducted institutional capture, once they've achieved institutional capture, it's like running a military operation on the military itself. That's when you go, so Biden, full institutional capture. Now you go top down, and now we can go to the junior ranks, you can go to the NCOs, you can go to the petty officers in the Navy, and you can just start wiping out anybody.
It's amazing that we haven't even heard this type of conversation for 4 years. Never mind anybody actually doing it, we haven't even heard people talking about doing this. Going after things with a plan to execute, with a plan to win. To take people down who are your adversaries. I find it to be so refreshing. And for you ladies out there, I mean, no offense. Like I said, I have a strong, independent woman as a wife, but it's so nice to feel that men are coming back to being in charge. And if that bothers people, so be it. This is how I feel it's supposed to be. I feel that we are supposed to protect women and children. I feel we're supposed to help the affirmed and people who can't defend themselves. None of this changing of the pronouns, none of this, let's put in someone who happens to be of a certain pigmentation of skin, regardless of their ability to actually execute. We want a meritocracy. For those of you who don't know what meritocracy means, you earn it. You have performed. And that's what we're seeing Pete and some of these people talking about. And to me, it's so flipping refreshing, because that's how it used to be. You know, when they say, when was America great again? When people weren't afraid to perform, to understand, I may be better than you. I don't mean as a person. I mean, my skills may be better than you. And it's okay, because I am going to continue to work to be better than you. Not as a person. No person is better than any other person. But in terms of the job that somebody is going to be doing, I want to be better than you. I want to be judged by my performance. I want to be compensated by my performance. And all this stuff where, you know, the affirmative action and DEI and woke stuff, there's nothing resembling a meritocracy. That's how it should be. Thankfully to you guys who have watched me and watched my evening show and afternoon show last couple of days, I've been shown to be in the top 15, top 14 of news podcasts in the world. And I'm like, oh my God, I never could have imagined. But I'm not sitting back going, well, I'm there because I'm black. And because I'm black, you guys need to help me get to number 12. No, hell no. I looked at that and go, the guy up top here, who I'm looking up to, is number 1. That's Dan Bongino. And then there's Benny Johnson somewhere in here. And then there's Patrick Bet-David. Those guys are above me. Okay, it's time for me to work even harder. I need to earn it. It's not going to be given to me. I'm not going to get 600, 700, 800,000 subscribers and viewers just because I'm a black guy. I'm going to have to earn it. That's how it's supposed to be. I grew up that way. Whether it was football, baseball, basketball, I got cut. Why? I wasn't good enough. I was too slow. But in baseball, I could hit home runs and stuff, and I could play first base and catcher, so they let me play. And in football, I just destroyed people. But I earned it. It wasn't given to me because of the melanin in my skin or what was between my legs. I'm so over it. Let's get back to it.
Because there's no one left to hold anyone accountable for these things.
And that's why you saw most of the more aggressive actions of the Obama administration happen in the second half of the second term. He didn't do it right away because he knew institutionally he could not. So take something for like women in combat roles, for example, which rolled out in 2014 into 2015. That was would have been an extremely controversial topic 8 years before that, in the middle of a shooting war, when there was a recognition that men and women are different, and that bone density and lung capacity and muscle mass are different, and adding the variable of women into all male units on the front lines might add some complicating factors. But by 2015, 2016, you had a Secretary of the Navy in Ray Mabus and other services, especially the Air Force and the Army. They just laid down. They didn't even try to fight. They said, okay, at least the Marine Corps conducted a study. And they studied 400 male Marines versus 300 male Marines and 100 female Marines. And no surprise, after months of study, the all-male unit massively outperformed the mixed gender unit.
Outperformed. Many of you guys have seen the movie G.I. Jane. And hey, listen, if you want to join this club of ultra, mega, testosterone-laden males, then you need to perform like that ultra testosterone-laden club. You need to be like them. I can't go play in the NBA. I just can't do it. I can't perform at that level. But our government decided what they were going to do is let's lessen the standards. Let's bring our standards down just so these other people could play t-ball in our military and other parts of the government. They didn't earn it. They're not capable of doing the work that someone else could do, but we're going to play t-ball and let everybody get a trophy. I knew that shit was going to be a problem. I knew that going in when I heard years ago, everybody gets a participation trophy, and I'm like, that's BS. No, the only kids who should get a trophy are the kids who earn it. I'm tired of, every pat in everybody's head, you're good, everyone's good. No, some of you suck. Some of you have to work harder. There's nothing wrong. My God, I didn't start as a freshman. I had to beat the guy in front of me. I had to get better, learn the plays, learn how to execute before I became a starter. My grandson's playing right now. He was frustrated this year. He was on JV, and he was being studly. Then he got to varsity, and he wasn't there yet until he worked his ass off and became a starter as a sophomore. You go, boy. But that's how it's supposed to work.
But what did the Secretary of the Navy do at that point? Because he knew who his handlers were? Threw the study out and said, I don't care. Integrate every single billet. And that's the type of mindset that takes hold everywhere. It's not about standards and lethality and accountability and meritocracy. It's about what do my political handlers demand based on some societal objective that does not align with the most effective fighting force. And that's where they abdicate their responsibility. They abdicate their oath, but they've been well placed to be the types of people that already want to abdicate or are willing to because they're cowards with stars on their shoulders, and they go along to get along. They want to make the next rank, and then they want their spot on the board of the defense contractor after that, and they want to be liked by the chattering class. So there's a careerism problem involved in all of it too. But it was set up by systematically creating, as you said, different types of incentives. And now here we are in Biden, and it's a straight off CRT, DEI, gender-based, right out of a Marxist playbook if you wanted to remake an institution. Trump threatened the international order, Council on Foreign Relations, Washington, D.C., Brookings Institute types. They were never told their wars were stupid or their generals were losers or that NATO didn't step up, that China would unleash a virus, so let's call it the China virus and hold them to account for it. All of those things were a calling out of an international order that was failing and is continuing to fail and now has a great advocate in the regime currently in the White House. And Ukraine, it's basically a fight Donald Trump by fighting Putin through Zelensky war. They finally found a war they just absolutely love.
Anyone that wants to take the stage and talk about dual loyalty is dead wrong. What this organization represents, what Western civilization represents today, is an understanding that Zionism and Americanism are the front lines of Western civilization and freedom in our world today.
Yeah, they don't want no parts of this. That which I'm sure some of them in the media have looked at and went, oh my goodness, oh, that's what he's thinking? Yep, that's what he's thinking. And he's going to be the Secretary of Defense.
And what better time for that relationship? From the scrapping of the terrible Iran deal to the embassy move, the recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of the Jewish state, and the recognition of the Golan Heights. This president is a true friend of the state of Israel. It is an eternal bond, an unbreakable bond that represents faith and freedom and fidelity to historic, religious, and cultural traditions, the opposite of secularism and Islamism and anti-Semitism.
Oh, the opposite. Love it. Okay, we got some pictures coming in. Let's go ahead and cut to this real quick. This is
world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate it very much. A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
So obviously this was in progress. And in my studio, we have a lot of networks on at the same time. So I can see out of the corner of my eye, this caught everybody off guard. No warning that this was going to be a live opportunity right then inside the Oval Office. It's a traditional one, but we weren't certain of when the private comments would give way to this public moment. So we want to re-rack it from the top. because we do digitally capture these things so that you can see it in its entirety. And that is ready for us to watch for the first time together. And again, it's short, but I want you to see all of it.
Nothing to see, Harris.
Well, Mr. President-elect and the former president, thank you, Donald, congratulations. Thank you very much. And looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So welcome
Thank you
back.
very much. And thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's in many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate it very much. A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Joe.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
So there are a lot of things to gather in those few moments, which is why it's important to see all of them. We hadn't heard from Biden. We took it so quickly. So you've got to see that exchange between two people who really were in quite the epic political battle. Not just 4 years ago in 2020, but fast forward up until June 27th and that debate that basically destroyed Joe Biden's.
That was it. And like she said, I had too. I've got two other monitors with the other networks on as well. And for some reason, and I don't know why, again, just like the previous speech he was given and they cut it, I don't know who's in charge of the feed right now, whether it's the White House or it's Trump's people. I gotta believe it's the White House because, it's a home game for Joe Biden as of today. So they're only letting the American public see certain bits and pieces. You saw the speech at the House of Congress, the Republicans, GOP. That should have been a home game, meaning that should have been something that the Republicans let everybody see, but they didn't. They cut it. And then this happened, and then they cut it again. So I'm not really sure. None of us knows why. I'm looking at Fox, I'm looking at CNN on this monitor, and everyone seems a little stupefied as to what the hell's going on. Why are things so secret? And that had to have been a call from the White House. Trump doesn't control that. He's going to visit Dementia Joe. So the White House, I don't know if it's Karine Jean-Pierre, whoever, decided this is all we're going to show. Let's listen in and see what Fox is saying right now about more of it.
Is that fire between the two men, but we'll find out momentarily. When he met with Barack Obama, the meeting went 90 minutes. Who's to say how long this goes? I thought what Jake Sullivan said on CBS on Sunday was kind of interesting. He said, we want to know what his ideas are. I don't think Donald Trump is the kind of guy who wants to show his hand. He's got fires that he wants to put out all over the world.
Literal ones.
Yeah, and some of these cabinet positions, not necessarily cabinet, but the people on his team, I think are very interesting. Fox Digital reported 2 hours ago, they broke the news that there will be a Ukraine envoy to try and settle that matter. And that's going to be massively complicated, by the way.
Do you think that came up or will come up as these two men talk?
I imagine it will. I mean, that would be my guess. But again, I don't think Trump's the kind of guy that wants to show his hand on this.
Yeah, I got to believe the same thing. I don't think Trump's going to let in on anything. Let's just show me the keys, whatever remodeling you did. My guys are going to come in and sweep the White House and make sure that you guys don't have any hidden bugs or anything. But they're not done. From what I understand here, they've set up a microphone. I'll let you see this real quick. They set up a microphone right outside the White House. So I assume what's going to happen after they have their private meeting is that Trump's going to walk out here and actually hold court and actually have a press conference like he normally would. So, because all the press is sitting out there, they're all waiting for him to come out. Maybe they'll come out jointly and give a public statement. But you can see on the bottom right, the press is all sitting there waiting on the outside, and Trump's not going to miss an opportunity to talk to the press. He may even announce his next candidate for the cabinet there. Who knows? But we'll cut to it as soon as we get to that, and let's continue talking about Pete in the interim.
First of all, across the government writ large, I think you got to get arbitrary. If you want to get so big, you got to get arbitrary. Something like if your social security number ends in 7, 4, 2, or 6, you're fired. Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. We can fill your slot. You're replaceable. Like, we're at that point where we just need a massive shrinking of the size of the government.
Can you imagine? Right now, the sphincters are so tight in Washington, I don't know if they can even have or even think of having a bowel movement. With Elon and Vivek ready to come in and go, tell us exactly what you do here. Plead out your life. With RFK Jr. coming out and saying, I'm going to cut 600 people from the National Institute of Health. Chop, 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 chop. It's going to be phenomenal. And now the man who is now going to be the Secretary of Defense, he's coming in and saying, yeah, we're going to chop you here too. We may just say, how does your Social Security number end? You're all done.
When it comes to the DOD, don't worry about what their nickname was when they were in the military. You know, what was it? Mad Dog, Mad Ass. So as much as I love Donald Trump, that was very much a pitfall of the beginning of his administration. Who are the people that truly believe in America first, that truly believe in unleashing our warfighters, that reject every aspect of DEI, not the whole like, well, you know, we do diversity, but we're not really, no, we're out of this whole game. We only want lethality and meritocracy. That's it. And then what's key is not that person. You'll have a figurehead there at DOD that does that. It's the series of dozens of underlings who have to be just as committed in understanding everything that's being peddled and pushed to help recommend everybody that you fire. I mean, mass firings at the general officer. Were you involved in pushing that? Okay, you're fired. Were you involved? And fine, pick 5 or 6 symbolic firings of generals. Well, guess what happens at some level there? The whole incentive structure changes for these, you know, they're politicians wearing camouflage at many levels at that level. They're going to start to return back, I would think, for many of them, to what they really were supposed to be doing in the first place. Oh, the incentive is having more ammo and more training, not more diversity trainings? How about we do that?
You're seeing a little bit behind the scenes as I compiled all these videos, and you're seeing why they are freaking out about Pete Hegseth. There's so much film of him talking about what he's going to do or what he thought should be done. He had no idea when he did these interviews that he was going to be the Secretary of Defense, but he had an idea. He goes, I think this is what needs to happen. So imagine he had this conversation with Trump, and Trump had already reviewed what you're reviewing right now. He's like, so tell me how you would do this. Mm-hmm. And what do you think about how are we going to replace the generals? Okay. And I think Pete basically sold him on it at that point. He may not even known he was being interviewed for the job. He may have just been saying, so Pete, what's your ideas? I've seen these videos. How would you make this happen? How would you do this? How would you do that? And it just piqued Trump's interest to the point where I think this guy could really do it. I think this guy could be the type of firebrand that I could put in there who's going to go in there, kick ass, and take names. And he's young. Notice the people Trump is picking. Other than RFK Jr., who is 70, 71, everybody else is probably under the age of 45. Not really sure. We haven't heard if Marco has been actually appointed yet or nominated. We'll see who that Secretary of State is. But everybody else, they're real young. People who could get in there, who have the energy to get in there and kick some butt. Make things happen, and we'll be here for the next president should Trump decide not to run. Although today, he goes, who knows? And that threw people for a loop. What do you mean? You think you're going to be here in 4 years and going to run again? Hey, I don't know. You know, God will tell. And I think that also freaks some people out as well. But let's continue with Pete.
I do think it's the type of institution that can turn differently than, say, a Department of Education, which we should just get rid of completely. Or if you weren't going to get rid of, you couldn't pull the roots out fast enough or hard enough. Because I think the core of that Pentagon would be with all of those moves.
Meanwhile, former and future president is moving quickly to fill the clown car and round out his cabinet before he changes his mind and fires them all.
And you wonder why your viewership is down 55%. You wonder why people think you're the clown. You see, MSNBC, this is her reaction. as if she has any qualifications for anything. And she's, riffing on Pete Hegseth and saying Trump's pulling up the clown car, as nobody really wants to see what you have to say, Joy. 55%. The person you were pushing so hard, yeah, she fizzled.
Moments ago, Trump announced that he has selected Fox Weekend morning show host, you can't make this up, Pete Hegseth, to serve as Secretary of Defense, because why not?
Part of being institutionalist.
All right, this guy. Okay, I wanted you to listen to this guy, just so you know. I'm going to leave up the split screen so you can see. This guy's name is, I forget his first name, but his last name is Bash. B-A-S-H. Like Dana Bash from CNN. This Dana Bash is his ex-wife. This guy is deep in the deep state. I mean, real deep. Like he may not even come up that often. And he was part of the group who orchestrated that letter about the laptop and said, 51 intelligence officers say the laptop is Russian disinformation. That was this guy. This guy right here. And watch how you can tell the intense fear of the Trump administration and what they're hoping to see happen. I'll play it for you. We'll listen.
It means you believe and subscribe to the view of separation of powers in our constitutional system. And you kind of hit this at the top of the show. We're going to be entering a period in which Donald Trump not only controls the entire executive branch, his party will control the Senate, probably the House, and a significant majority of the U.S. Supreme Court. So anybody who has taken civics understands that when you control all three branches of government with a political party, it's much more challenging to have checks and balances. And so as difficult as it is to contemplate this at this moment, Nicole, I think we have to rely on Republicans, Republican elected officials, Supreme Court justices, and people inside government and outside government who are willing to continue to have checks and balances, to continue.
Hold on a second. Who are these people outside of government that you're hoping have a check and balance on Donald Trump? Outside of government. You mean like foreign actors? Are you basically telling us the plan? And the other people that you want to have a check and balance on Trump are Republicans. Unfortunately, Mitch McConnell is on his way out. We should know momentarily the vote whether or not Rick Scott is going to be the majority leader. So the plan with the deep state at this point is to pray that they have enough defiant Republicans. Lisa Murkowski, Suzanne Collins, those types of people who will not go along with what Trump wants to see happen. And if they have enough of these people, maybe they could throw a monkey wrench into Trump's plans. That's their singular hope. That's it. No more lawfare. Won't work. Somebody outside of government, we don't understand who the hell he's talking about there. So basically, you put the entirety of your deep state hopes onto the Republicans. That is your, quote, insurance policy. That's the last bastion of hope of the Democrat Party, is that they can pull the strings on a few Republicans. Let's find out who those Republicans are. Let's root those people out. Let's get Trump in to find out who the scumbags are that are going to try and show up, be impediments to his plan. Because that's all they have.
You to hold the executive branch accountable. If there's an unlawful order given to the United States military, I expect, and I think it will be the case, that uniformed military will not carry out unlawful orders.
We talked about this yesterday. If there's a, quote, unlawful order given to the military, who's going to determine if it's unlawful? You see, at the time that the order is given, unless you have some sort of advocate or someone to tell you, i.e. a court, that it's illegal, who's going to tell you that this order is unconstitutional? Well, if you go up the chain of command, you're going to run into the first person, Pete Hegseth. That's you're going to hit there before you even get to the commander-in-chief. Tells you they have no plan. They're hoping that there's going to be enough rank-and-file military to stop what Trump wants to do by complaining about orders, and you're hoping that Pete Hegseth doesn't get in and start rooting these idiots out. You're done, you're done, you're done, you're done, you're done. Because that's what he's going to do. And everyone on MSNBC and these shows yesterday were talking about, well, if he gets confirmed, you're going to find out in probably about a half hour or so whether or not he's going to get confirmed. Because you're going to find out whether Rick Scott is the majority leader, and then now he can get everybody appointed right through a recess appointment. They're freaking. They got nothing. They're terrified.
If these people try to politicize the work of the Central Intelligence Agency, I know the people who work at the Central Intelligence Agency, they will...
You know the people who work at the Central Intelligence Agency now. You see, now you're figuring out, oh, wait, we got some news here. Let's see what they say here. Nope, they haven't voted yet. Okay, I thought they were getting ready to vote. It says Senate Republicans will vote soon on the new leader. They have not as yet voted. So there's a lot of stuff happening today. You got the Trump at the White House, Trump coming out doing a speech. You got the Senate majority leaders, people vying to be Senate majority leader. All of this is happening. And then as soon as Trump gets back on the plane and goes someplace, I'm sure before 3 o'clock, hey, let's listen in on this.
Harris, good morning. I am told that they have finished the speeches by the candidates here. I'm told that John Thune, the Republican from South Dakota, just wrapped up. I asked specifically to a source in the room whether or not they were to the voting yet. They said not yet, but they think that might start in just a couple of minutes here. And I just got a note here from somebody saying they're about to start the vote right now. So yes, they should be voting. Now, this is going to be the thing to watch. This is a secret ballot. There are 53 senators, Republican senators, or senators-elect casting ballots there. So the magic number is 27. However, with 3 candidates, if no senator gets to that outright majority, they go to a second ballot and the third place finisher drops off. Now, I'm told that it should be an advantage to John Thune, the Republican whip right now, to win this on a first ballot, because if it goes to a second ballot, could that be a potential problem? It's generally thought here on Capitol Hill, this is very hard to divine, that Rick Scott probably has the lowest number of votes between John Thune and John Cornyn here. And so if he comes in at, say, 10 or 12 votes and the...
All right, I'll come back to him. We have breaking news. Tommy, where's my drum roll? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, breaking news. Tucker Carlson has been appointed as White House press secretary. You know all those people yesterday who said it was going to be Alina Habba? Stop listening to people go, the rumor is, nope, no more rumors. Tucker Carlson, this is issued, Trump must have done this. I mean, it came out literally 19 minutes ago. Oh, wait a minute. It says Trump has not, this is fake. This is fake. All right, let me take it back. This can't be real. Somebody's playing. Yeah, F these people, man. Seriously. I am so sick of these people. I mean, what is it that you want the clicks and stuff that bad you're willing to do that shit? Unbelievable. And I broke my own rule. My own rule is, unless Caroline Leavitt says it, let me look at Caroline Leavitt. She would say she's Trump's press secretary. And nope, has not been released by Trump's press secretary whatsoever. Today, Donald Trump announced he did announce something else, though, so we can actually look at some truthful stuff. Truthful stuff. Here we go with this. President Trump announces White House senior staff. Today, this is from Mar-a-Lago before he left, obviously. Dan Scavino will return to the White House as an assistant to president and deputy chief of staff. And Scavino does all like the social media and marketing. Stephen Miller, as you know, is going to be deputy chief of staff. James Blair, there's a new name, will serve as assistant to the president and deputy chief of staff for legislative, political, and public affairs. And Taylor Budwick will serve as assistant to the president and deputy chief of staff for communications and personnel. Let's go back to Peter Doocy. What's he got going on here?
Waits by the microphones to see if they'll come out and talk to the people. What's happening?
Harris, there are so many more microphones than usual. You would think it was already the first day of the next administration, and you would think Donald Trump's not going to be coming back, but he will be coming back in 68 days. The only way, because of the layout today, where the press goes in at the beginning and then gets kicked out, the only way that we can tell that the meeting is ongoing with the two presidents in the Oval Office at once is that there is a Marine. And to set the scene a little bit, we are here at the Biden-Harris White House, and on the stairs over here at the Eisenhower Executive Office building, you can see that a group of curious staffers, again working still for the Biden-Harris administration, have gathered just to try to get a glimpse of the next president. Beyond that, we don't have very much information other than what we all saw, the two presidents sitting there next to a raging fire. Somebody came and put a couple extra logs on that thing this morning just for the special guest. And so we're in position. We are in position if Donald Trump, and it was really something because Donald Trump is infamous for talking for a very, very long time in those Oval Office pool sprays. Joe Biden, his host, is infamous for saying nothing and then just complaining to his guests that people are shouting questions at him. Donald Trump was letting his host lead the way.
Well, and I mean, that would be appropriate, right? He's still the president, and as Martha and Bill and I have been talking about on set today,
All right, so we'll keep watch on that, and we'll keep watch on other things in terms of the Trump feed on Truth Social, but damn, even caught me on that one. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know who this guy is. This guy, and then once you check real quick and verify, you find out it's BS. Just somebody trying the fake dudes. All right, so let's continue with this deep state whiner about Pete Hegseth.
Not allow their work to be politicized. They will speak the truth, and the truth will set them free. That's emblazoned on the wall of the original headquarters building at Langley. There's a kind of a mode of operating, a view, a loyalty to the Constitution that honestly is.
If they have a sworn duty to tell the truth at the CIA, what was all this stuff about Hunter's laptop? I'm confused. You guys are high and mighty and pious and believe in the Constitution and upholding truth, except when truth doesn't suit you. Because this guy on screen, was one of the people who pushed the crap about the laptop. And the laptop, as you know, was real. So he's so full of crap, he doesn't even understand or let people remember, hey, I remember when you created this fake letter with Brennan and decided you were going to put this out and tell everybody that the laptop was fake. I mean, it was fake when it indeed was real. That's how desperate they are right now. That's extremely desperate.
Bigger than any other idea of who's in power, who's your commander-in-chief, who's calling the shots in the executive branch. And I think we can have faith in people who believe in these institutions. They want to have confidence.
I'm sure you can have faith in these people who believe in the institution. You're trying to drum them up. We're going to find out real soon here. I won't go off until we hear back about the Senate Majority Leader. We're waiting for Trump to possibly talk as well. But in the interim of that, you're trying to muck up the waters by trying to recruit Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins and some of the people that you're hoping you either got something on or you can bribe them to the point where they'll try and slow Trump down. That's all you got. So this guy on CNN, I absolutely love Scott Jennings. I love how he just destroys everything about when he's on. I'm surprised they still let him on television because he leaves them speechless and leaves them sounding like foos. Listen to him talk to these people about Pete Hegseth.
In the current leadership of the Pentagon and the way the defense situation has been operating for the last several years, I mean, from the Afghanistan pullout, which was an extreme debacle for which no one was held accountable. We've had spy balloons flying over the United States. We built a $300 million pier as a public relations stunt, which wound up killing an American service member. I'd say I've had just about enough of the so-called insiders running the Defense Department. I think we ought to give Pete Hegseth a chance.
Because he's got insiders?
All the criticism of him is that he's not the expected Washington pick. And I'm just saying to you,
imagine that this guy has made a career out of one story. The Get Nixon story, Bob Woodward, or was that Greenberg, one of them, the other guy who wrote the story about Watergate. He's made a career in Washington for something that happened in 1968. I don't think he's been right since. Every time he writes a book, he makes shit up. Every time he writes an article, he makes stuff up. And so now he's trying to represent that the people in Washington that I talk to, who exactly are those? And Scott's schooling him.
That the American people just voted against the expected Washington pick. So he's got 20 years in service, Afghanistan, Iraq, 2 Bronze Stars, Princeton, Harvard. Yeah, he's on TV, but so are the rest of us.
By the way, that list you just gave is really interesting because you highlighted a bunch of things that the civilian leadership of the country decided on. In the military, their job was just to execute. They executed.
How did it go?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
How did it go?
In terms of the decision making, you're assigning decision making responsibility to the military over things that civilians are responsible for.
So you make a good point. The civilian leadership made decisions, and then the people they put in charge of the Pentagon carried it out. And it was all pretty much a disaster. So now we have a new president who I think got elected in part because of some of those disasters, and he's going to put in some of the non-insiders in charge of not just this agency, but a bunch of them. Now look, they've got to perform. They've got to perform. I mean, we got 53 U.S. senators that are Republicans, and Pete Hegseth, he's an American hero. The man won 2 Bronze Stars for his service, and he's been a champion for veterans.
It's amazing to me that they're already questioning whether or not somebody get confirmed, when there's really the entire confirmation process isn't usually supposed to be about whether you like him or you don't like him. I mean, I hope Pete's ready. They're going to basically come at him with a microscope and stick a magnifying glass up his butt. And every little thing that he has said, every video that even what I've shown here. So you don't think women should be in the military. That's not what I said. What I said was women can be administrative. I don't want them in combat. You don't like it? I'm sorry. I'm not here to help your feelings. You're going to tell me I can't be confirmed because your feelings are hurt? I'm sorry, honey. That's not how it works.
He's going to have to go up there just like everybody else and prove his knowledge of how to do this job. He's not immune from that, but we ought to give this man a chance, in my opinion.
You people are toast. Absolutely toast. Trump is putting together, as some people have, that was me from yesterday. This is me now. So anyway, we're waiting to see the results of the vote. Let me know what you guys think about Pete Hegseth and what you've heard about Pete Hegseth at this point. Are you okay with that? Do you think that he should look for somebody else who's currently an admiral or general or something in the military? I'd love to know what you think. Me personally, I like the idea of having new blood. I like the idea of someone with that kind of knowledge who actually was in combat, who understands the military, and understanding at the same time all of the faux outrage. You see, they were going to nominate a woman who doesn't have a clue. They were going to nominate a vice presidential candidate that obviously looked kind of weird and spoke weird and absolutely lied about his service. So to me, it's kind of hard for people on the left to question an actual Bronze Star winner when you are ready to nominate someone who faked their military participation. How do you square that off? How do you square it off that you were going to we're hoping you said he was fine, horse milkshakes and all. You said this guy was the guy who should be the vice president of the United States, knowing full well he lied about his military involvement, participation. And here's a guy with Bronze Stars, and you're not making any sense. Harris says at this point, First Lady greets Trump at the White House. So now it appears as though Jill Biden has met with Trump as well. Melania, as you know, declined to be there. She didn't want any parts of it. So we're waiting for him to step to the microphone, and we're waiting for the votes on the majority leader. And as soon as those pop up, I will most assuredly let you know. Biden says congratulations to Trump. It did seem kind of weird, didn't it? When I say weird, did it appear to you that Biden looked much more relaxed? Almost like I don't have to fake this crap anymore. They're not holding this wedge, this hammer of Damocles over my, sword of Damocles over my head. I can actually just chill now and ride out these next 60 days. I don't have to worry about this stuff. No, don't ask me about putting her as president. I ain't gonna do it. You just tell her to stay away from now on. If you saw the pictures of Jill Biden and Kamala Harris sitting next to each other, they look like two strangers on a train. They look like two people who didn't know each other, and one of them farted. I mean, it was just like, didn't want to have anything to do with her. There's no love lost between these two people, these three people. I don't think Doug Emhoff counts. They don't care about him. But I don't think Jill or Joe want anything to do with Kamala Harris. And everything you tried to do to him and push him out and tell him he couldn't run, and you're going to go out and give this speech and you're going to say this, you're going to say that. At this point, I'm done. She lost. I'm still president. And I'm just going to relax as this guy gets ready to march in here and stomp you guys all over your faces. You deserve it. That's the attitude I'm seeing from Joe Biden right now. Wanted to show you a couple things. I mentioned earlier about what Trump had said at the meeting that caused everybody to kind of snap their head. This is what he said. Trump jokes to the House GOP that he may have to run again in 2028. You know they didn't want to hear that, right? You know that joke wasn't something that they actually wanted to hear. Let me just keep looking. Nope, nobody's come out yet. Then Elon Musk has been all over it. I mean, just killing it in terms of what he's going to be doing with the Doge Office of Government Efficiency. He hasn't posted anything new. Let me see if there's anything else new here so I can refresh all my feeds that I'm looking and watching to see what's happening. Paul Ryan is down here in Palm Beach. Don't care. So everybody's waiting. Right now, everybody's waiting. So let's go ahead and take some comments from you guys. So from what you've heard thus far. As we continue, I'll leave the screen up so you can see, you're not going to miss. This First Lady gave Trump handwritten congratulations. Jill, in that video, Jill looked like she wanted to spit on Kamala. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty crazy. Can Trump win? Can Trump run in 2028? That's interesting. Only thing I'm thinking back to is John Adams when they skipped. I'm not sure. I think he might be able to. I think you can't. I don't know. It would be his third term, but it's not third consecutively. I would have to look at that. I'd have to look that up too. They home a third term. Trump 47 is going to be more excited than 45. Absolutely. What do we got here? Something happening? Let's see if they voted yet.
Vote to choose someone to replace the leader, Mitch McConnell, is underway.
That's right. The first vote is over, and there was no clear winner on that first ballot. What does that mean? There are three candidates, John Thune, John Cornyn, and Rick Scott. We are told that Rick Scott did not make the cut. The vote getter who got the fewest ballots drops off for the second round, so it goes to a second ballot. Now, generally, it was thought that this race would favor John Thune, the current Republican whip, if he were to win going away on that first ballot. That did not happen here. The question that I would pose at this point is whether or not those who were for Rick Scott, who do those votes go for? Do they go for John Thune? Do they go for John Cornyn? There was one school of thought that it might be kind of broken up here. We have had other leadership races where we've had one slate of voters go to somebody else, but that is not wrapped up right now. So they go to a second ballot. And again, there are 53 Republicans voting in this leadership election here, 53 Republicans, including current senators. They don't include the senators senators who are leaving, they retired or lost, and then you have Senators-elect, and J.D. Vance, of course, is voting in this leadership race as well here. He did not comment as to who he was supporting, and President-elect Trump has not weighed in.
So, Chad, just real quickly, when you say that Senator Rick Scott of Florida is no longer in the mix, does that tell you anything about the breakdown of votes that these men got?
Well, that's why it's so hard to read here, because he had kind of that anti-establishment vote. He was certainly more aligned with President-elect Trump. There were some who wanted to break from the current leadership ranks. Keep in mind that John Thune is...
All right, so Trump's first impediment, possible impediment. Rick Scott did not get the votes to be the majority leader. So how they do it is the three people run, the one who's got the least votes gets booted off, and now he's off Survivor Island, and the other two now, they have a second secret ballot to determine who's going to be the majority leader. Both Cornyn and Thune have since said they will work with Trump on his recess appointments. But you've also seen what Thune and Cornyn have said about Trump in the past. Can people change? Obviously they can. I'll just tell you real quick. You saw Ted Cruz and Trump went head to head. They called each other all kinds of vile things, and then they came together. And you saw Trump and Rubio say all kinds of vile things to each other, and then they somehow came together. So it's possible that these guys have had a change of heart. They're no longer the same people they were 4 or 5 years ago. But in any event, Scott's out. He's done. So now we've got to hope that one of these two guys who gets voted in actually does what he says he's going to do. That he's going to work with Trump and get these recess appointments put through. So he's got his first hurdle right now. If he doesn't get someone, if whoever gets in, if they end up being a Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell acolyte, and they try that way to muck things up, we could have some serious problems. Meaning every single one of these people is going to have to go through the conventional means of confirmation, and then they're going to have to get approved, and it's just a pain in the butt. So this is the deep state flexing some muscle. Unless they've changed their way. Don't know how that's going to work out, but we shall see. Did we notice anything about Joe sitting in an alpha manner like Trump, legs apart? Alphabet. They both look like used car salesmen. Yes, they do. Hopefully the good guys have the dirt on these rhinos. Hopefully. Disgusting rhinos. They're playing a game. All have formed this up. This is the first. Like you said, this will just be the first speed bump. Both of these are McConnell puppets. Yep. All right. So we've run into our first impediment. I hated that it was a secret ballot, because now all these people, nobody knows who they voted for, and they get to just stay back and be secret and smile in our faces on camera and say what they want on camera, and nobody knows who they actually voted for. But we shall see. Hopefully Trump planned for something like this happening. Yep, he's gonna. I believe that. You're gonna have to give these guys a shot now. We're all gonna have to sit back. All right, you said you were gonna do the recess appointments. Let's see what you do, because if not, you've just committed political suicide. I hope the parachute that the deep state gave you, if you plan on messing things up, is big enough. Yeah, he's going to have to do a lot with executive orders if they don't do this. Now we need names. They will come out. I hope they do. Okay, somebody says, after FDR, Congress passed a law that said a president... where'd that go? The president can only serve 2 consecutive terms, with consecutive being the operative word. That's what I was taught in school before education. Yes, I understood that to be the law too. It didn't say non-consecutive. So the fact that you couldn't run 3 in a row, but I don't know if there's a law that says you can't serve 1 and then skip and then have it 2 more. Don't know anything about that. Let's see. Paul Ryan is doing his best. He's a staunch never-Trumper. Exactly. This is why government sucks. I might be done watching this crap if they can stop Trump. We the people want change. We voted for it overwhelmingly. Overwhelmingly. So if either one of these two guys gets in and becomes the Senate Majority Leader and tries to fight against Trump, you're right. What WTF, Scott not voted in? What does that not surprise me? All right, so we're going to have to figure out who's next. Who's next? No, somebody says no, you can only do 2 total terms. Okay. Do you have the statute on that? I'd love to just be able to read the statute and post it. Trump is already prepared for his obstacles and knows where they will be. I really hope so. Samuel Brunson, I guarantee you Trump has already planned for this. Somebody else says a maximum that a POTUS can serve is 10 years, possibly 10. I'm not sure. Let's see that. Senator Kennedy, I was the one. Somebody has said that, J.D. Vance not saying it out in public. You're forgetting the fact that God is in control, and whoever gets that position is whoever is meant to have that position. God is always in control. Thank you for reminding me that. I do not trust Thune. People are saying, why are we thinking about the next election? Only because Trump joked about it. That's the only reason. Trump said something that caught people's attention. He goes, I might have to run in 2028. He said it. Nobody else brought it up. He brought it up. So he might have been joking, which he is prone to do. Let's see what we got now coming in here. See if she's got any news on it.
For President-elect Donald Trump's movements on his return to Washington, D.C. He just finished the meeting with President Biden now. And what you're looking at was what we showed you last hour on tape. And we couldn't even catch it in real time. We didn't get a heads up. It was so short. Also, we're watching what's going on the U.S. House side with Republicans as well. Will they win the majority? And again, we follow the Associated Press on that. I know some other outlets, media outlets, may call things at different paces. We are waiting on that confirmation. And in Washington, D.C. right now, the U.S. Senate's secret ballot for the next majority leader is underway. It is a second vote today. Senator Rick Scott of Florida in the first round of voting to replace the leader Mitch McConnell in the U.S. Senate. Republicans retaining control of that chamber. The first vote failed for Rick Scott, Senator Rick Scott of Florida. So now you've got John Cornyn of Texas and John Thune. So we are watching what's happening there. This is outnumbered. I'm Harris Faulkner. Here.
All right, so that's where we are at this point. We don't know who is going to be the majority leader, and we're still waiting for Trump to walk out. As soon as he walks out, we will definitely cover it. This is such BS with their secret vote for a Senate leader. I want to know who voted for who. I agree with you. I completely agree with you. This should have been completely above board. The fact that they decided they were going to do it. Oh, hold on. Let's move into something here. Something going on.
Minutes that they've been out there is a few dozen, maybe I would say a few hundred members of the international press are just watching this door, and every time it opens, everybody kind of holds their breath like, is Donald Trump going to come out? And we don't know if he is going to. He traditionally, of course, talks a lot to the press, but somehow resisted the urge in the Oval Office to engage any of the shouted questions, and we have a new data point that helps us explain why. Susie Wiles, the incoming chief of staff, who is getting a lot of credit from Trump allies as running a very tight ship, is in there with the outgoing chief of staff, Jeff Zients, and the whole time that the press was allowed to be in there, we didn't have to cut any of it. It was so short. So the soundbite today is the whole meeting. Here it is.
Mr. President-elect and former President, thank you. Donald, congratulations. Thank you. And looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So welcome
Thank you
back.
very much. And thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's in many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate it very much. A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome.
That was almost an hour ago. If Donald Trump comes out to tell us what happened once the doors slid shut, we will be here. We know that the Biden team and the National Security Advisor were putting out word that President Biden wanted to let Trump know what he thinks the big problems in the world are and how Donald Trump should conduct himself with foreign policy. There were questions about how that would go, but however it is that the two of these guys are chatting, or if they got a PowerPoint presentation for president-elects, it's still going on.
Well, if that happened, we're going to need some video of that if that happened. Peter, before I let you go, we were getting some news at the end of the last hour, and we don't have video to go with it, that the First Lady, Jill Biden, joined her husband at the door to greet the president-elect Trump earlier and handed him a letter of transition to help things go smoother. Do you know anything about that moment? I mean, we haven't seen it on camera. A lot of those movements heading into the White House, were not on camera today.
I have not seen it on camera, and that is essentially what has replaced the traditional First Lady's tea. Something that Melania Trump did when they were coming in 2016, 2017. She did sit down with Michelle Obama for that. She skipped the one with Jill Biden. There have been various reports about what exactly the incoming First Lady Melania Trump was so upset about, but her office is telling us to discount all of these various reports. They're just saying that she's not here. And Donald Trump, hopefully he's got a big enough jacket pocket for this letter that he is to carry now from
Did you see the letter?
Back down to Palm Beach. Have not seen the letter yet.
Okay.
The only reason that we even know about the letter is because we were given a half a paragraph statement that there is a letter.
Yeah, interesting. Well, as you point out, it might be a long letter because we have a lot of things to fix. It's part of the reason why the man on the left of the screen is taking over as the president-elect. Peter Doocy will come back. You'll keep...
All right. So the one tidbit you heard there, which is surprising to me, it seems as though the person who is... Okay, we got some more news. Let's cut it over.
As it gets underway for Congress in January, who will be the leader to succeed Mitch McConnell? Forgive me. I want to go to senior congressional correspondent Chad Pergram. Just moments ago, you had a first vote. There were 3 men. Now it's down to 1. We have a leader. Tell us about it.
Yes, we have a new leader in the United States Senate. It is John Thune, the Republican from South Dakota. He won on the second ballot. There were 2 ballots here taken. On the first ballot, this was the breakdown. It was John Thune got 23, John Cornyn from Texas got 15, and Rick Scott got 13. But it's not first past the post. You have to have an outright majority of those casting ballots. There are 53 Republicans voting in this leadership election here, so you had to get 27. Now, I've asked for a vote total here. How many John Thune won by, we don't know. But that second ballot was between Thune and Cornyn, and John Thune has prevailed. It's interesting about John Thune. You know, he came to the Senate in 2004, and he beat another leader in the Senate, Tom Daschle. Tom Daschle had been the minority leader and the majority leader, and it was John Thune, who had served in the House previously, who beat Tom Daschle in 2004. So he will be the person working with President-elect Trump and presumably House Speaker Mike Johnson in the new Congress. And it's always hard to kind of divine these leadership elections here, Harris. You know, I always talk about them being particle politics. It's hard to read them because it's decided at the subatomic.
So we've got Mike Johnson is staying. That was endorsed by Trump. Now you've got John Thune is going to be the majority leader. So it's going to be interesting. Like people have said, Trump probably has thought and game played all these different scenarios. So hopefully he'll come out with a statement afterward and let us know what he thinks about John Thune. I'm just waiting. I'm not going to cut the stream until we find out if Trump is going to come out and give us some words. At this point, we now know that Thune is the majority leader. Lots of news happening every single day. Going back to the White House meeting and what we heard, and I just want to break that down for you. It said that Susie Wiles, who is Trump's new chief of staff, and Biden's chief of staff met together and talked about, I guess, how things were going to go today. And it appears as though she was the one who said, ixnay the feed. That's it. Give him a minute and a half. That's it. We don't want anything else going out there. I don't want Trump getting in a position where something might be said that she doesn't want him said, which is extremely different. I've never seen Trump so disciplined, where somebody is going to tell him, that's it right now. Obviously it worked. I mean, he won the thing in a landslide, so he probably trusts her at this point implicitly that this woman is going to tell him the best way and advise him how things are done, because it worked. He got elected 312 or what it was to 126. So Mike Johnson will stay as the speaker, and John Thune is now the majority leader. And as you heard, he got 27 votes. So basically almost split down the middle. Don't know who the 27 are. They end up being cowards, and they hid and didn't tell us. And now we're stuck. Okay. Probably Thune was picked so he can be the thorn on President Trump's side. Possibly. We'll see. Can you feel the fresh air? Never underestimate Trump. He will have his words with Thune. Yep. LOI. Somebody's the ice lady. Are you talking about Susie Wiles? Because she's already, somebody said, why is this already the mother hen? And that was just very interesting how he slid that in there. And so this woman went with Trump to the White House, and she called the shots on what was going to be, shown. And obviously Biden went along with it because, it's Biden's position at this point. So he had to say, yeah, go ahead and cut the feed. Wow. Because Trump was fixing to absolve him of sins, and we don't want that. Interesting. No to Cornyn. He's as corrupt as they come, and I speak as a native Texan. Okay, you're down there. Exactly. They're hiding. The clown show for Dexa case was not, what's that say? Was not possible without a majority of rhinos. Susie Wiles said, let Trump be Trump. Yeah, but I guess there's some things right now they're still playing very close to the chest. Because of the secrecy, I don't think it's constitutional. I'd say, Rick, what you're saying? They may need to try the Supreme Court. I don't know. I didn't see anybody complaining. We'll see. I put on X how the votes were yes, mostly rhinos. 2 total terms and limits explained. Good afternoon. Senator Thune loves Ukraine. Thune looks like... We're going to find out about that because... Okay, here they show him. There's Thune walking through. They just showed him just walking through. Nothing on Trump yet. You guys haven't missed anything. Senator Thune loves Ukraine and loves war. This is going to be a big problem for Trump. Well, let's see what happens, because I tend to believe this one. I think Thune will bow down to Donald. I think he'll almost have to at this point. You can't get in the way of somebody who has a mandate the way Trump has. Let's see here. Look now. It's why does Biden's forehead and eyes look weird? Is it Botox or a mask gone bad? I'm not sure. The Senate is corrupted. House is corrupted. We don't have a chance. I can't go there. I can't. Susie is just covering Trump. Where is that? I just don't like the way they handled it in terms of not doing it above board and showing the American people. Susie, where is that? I just saw that. Susie something. Trump can handle it. I'm looking at different things. Let's see here. I like Sarah, that's her name. This woman.
At the changes the American people voted for, you're talking about massive legislation that's going to come before these lawmakers. I mean, you're talking about immigration, you're talking about tax cuts, you are talking about huge, enormous changes that they are going to have to deal with. So the question is Thune the guy? People are probably thinking Rick Scott was probably somebody that would carry out some of Donald Trump's closest plans. Perhaps, Kayla, you're going to weigh in on that. But John Thune's been in there for a while, and he obviously managed his campaign for this quite well.
Well, I'll tell you what he said on the 6th. Thune released a statement, and I think that's really telling that he was excited about this administration. He said, the incoming Senate Republican majority will work hand in hand with the Trump-Vance administration to lower costs for families, secure our southern border, and renew America's energy dominance. And then he goes on to say, the work begins now. And that was the day after the election. So I think coming out and acknowledging perhaps that despite, difference in opinion in the past, he came out immediately with I'm here, I'm ready, put me in, and this will be seamless. And I also point to the benefit of President Trump having selected J.D. Vance as his vice president, because this is a senator. So when you talk about the relationships and import of such, and that's what he's there for in part, right? Is that the vice president has those relationships with the Senate. And so if there is any friction, if the wrong guy won, according to some, that's what J.D. Vance is there for, to come and massage those relationships and say, hey guys, let's all work together as a machine. I personally have no doubt that this will be an effective machine.
J.D. Vance is the break. He's the tiebreaker. He's going to do what Kamala Harris was talking about all through the end of her campaign.
Republicans have 53 votes, though, now.
Right.
You don't need the tiebreaker, right?
You don't.
He's got some room.
But there is a difference between...
You got 53 Republicans. You don't have 53 votes. Yeah, don't, Kaylee, I know you've been in politics, but don't make the mistake on that. You got 53 Republicans. You do not have 53 votes. You're assuming that the Republicans are going to act like Democrats, and they've shown that they don't do that. They don't act like Democrats. Democrats vote in unison. That's it. Whatever happens, happens. But they'll all stick together. Republicans are not like that. They're afraid. F-R-E-Y-E-D. And they're also probably afraid. So don't assume you have 53 votes. You need 51, which means you can only afford to lose 3, with J.D. Vance being the tying vote. So if you lose 3, pretty much we can almost count who those 3 could possibly be. Murkowski, Collins, and Cornyn/Thune. You don't have 53 votes. That's a huge, huge distinction. And if those 4 get together, Thune, Cornyn, Murkowski, and Collins, to thwart something, then you lose. You lose. That's my concern. My concern is, you heard from that guy from the deep state earlier I played, and that guy from the deep state said their idea is to find some Republicans willing to not give Trump what he wants. And so it sounds great when you say, oh, they got the majority, 53, blah, blah, until you realize that majority only makes sense on paper. When those people go to vote, you can't count on some of them. I mean, you might as well consider Lisa Murkowski a Democrat and just right off the bat say 52. Lisa Murkowski hates Trump. Hates him. Susan Collins, she's kind of lukewarm. So, me personally, I would almost think you need to take 2 of these people right off the bat and not consider them votes. You got 51. You maybe have 51. And you need to keep every single one of those other people in line. Otherwise, we're going to have some problems. It's too close for the deep state to try and mess up. Too close without having the recess appointments. Now, if John Thune does what he says he's going to do and pushes the recess appointments, then we could be okay. But I'm not sure, and that's kind of concerning. I'm good with the new Senate Majority Leader. It's not a Democrat, and it's not a rhino. So you're saying Thune is not a rhino. Okay. The VP will tie break when the rhinos part with the president. If there's a tie. Again, 53. If it drops down and 4 of them jump ship, now it's not a tie. They're ahead. 50 to, whatever it is, 53 and 47. And if they end up getting 3 or 4 on their side, it's no longer a tie. See, 3 would be a tie. 4, the Democrats would have, the majority. How did this happen? I thought Trump was supposed to weigh in on this to get Scott in. Nope, they didn't listen to him. So we need to figure out. We got only 46 seats, in my opinion. So you're counting 7 of them as not being. They saw the election numbers. They will fall in line. They need to. We hope that they will. I think Rick Scott was never the pick. I think it was a nugget thrown in to see what will happen. Yeah. We got to stay positive. Yep, I don't think anybody should be down in the dumps. You're absolutely right. This past election broke a 130-year-old record. 85% of electoral college support Trump. We're in a different era. Except, and the only thing that I want to point out was what that deep state guy said. I should cut that, and we should just have that as a soundbite going forward, where he said we're counting on Republicans being the checks and balances. Not the Democrats, they lost. Not the media, they're feckless. We're counting on Republicans. And being who he is, have they already talked to some Republicans? There's going to be some serious people getting leaned on. I don't know when they're up for re-election. I don't know if Susan Collins is up in 2 years. I don't know if Lisa Murkowski is up in 2 years. I'll find out. But some of these people may only have 2 years left and looking for a parachute. Who knows? I thought there were a couple Dems on our side. There were, but they're no longer there. Joe Manchin will be gone. He got replaced. That's how we got up to 53. Kirsten Sinema, I don't know. I think she's done now. I think that was the Kerry Lake, Ruben Gallego vote that took that. And so possibly what we can do is maybe we'll see some. If Kerry Lake gets in, then I feel real confident. Excuse me. When they do the recount and they dig in big time to find out if there were shenanigans in Arizona, if Kerry Lake can get in, if we can get that seat, then I'd feel really, really comfortable that y'all can do whatever you want at that point. Ryan knows no, Chuck Schumer wasn't joking about the deep state 6 ways from Sunday. Yeah, some of these people they're not like Trump. They don't have the mettle. They don't have the intestinal fortitude to stand up and get some of this stuff done. President Trump has veto power. Well, he wouldn't be vetoing his own stuff. See, nothing's going to get through. Don't worry about veto. There is no veto. Because nobody's going to present something to Trump that he's going to veto. The Democrats are never going to have a launch pad for anything they want to do. Not going to happen. They would never get, when the Republicans controlling the House and the Senate, at this point, the Democrats are spectators. So there's nothing for him to veto. The Republicans aren't going to put up a bill to have him veto it. We have to get more involved in primaries. Yeah, many of the Republicans are feckless loser Dems anyway, masquerading as Republicans. Things going on in Nevada too. Yeah, hear about that as well. And I hear, is that where Sam Brown's from? I believe that's a Sam Brown. They're talking about that. Barry, I'm in Arizona. I haven't heard anything about a recount. It's not so much a recount as I understand from Laura Trump that they're looking at lawsuits because of craziness that happened with the vote. Same thing in Wisconsin with the 3 o'clock in the morning vote that they got that pushed Tammy Baldwin up. So people have been saying that they have evidence of the cheat happening, and you can see the same thing in Wisconsin. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning and it jumped up for Tammy Baldwin. So it ain't over. It ain't over for a couple of these races. Let's see if they're about to show something. Oh, well, while that's going on, we also have Karine Jean-Pierre getting ready to come up. So this is nuts. I might not be able to do the 3 o'clock show because we got so much going on right now. What did that say? 50 people are in the chat, are still chatting 22nd Amendment, and Trump isn't running. He trolling, get it? I love when people talk. They can all talk about different things. Mike Johnson and Thune have to work together to get things put. The fact that Trump endorsed Mike Johnson tells me they're going to work something out, figure it out. Hopefully, Sam Brown and Kerry Lake both got cheated. That's what they're digging into. That's what they are going to be digging into. It looks. Let's just listen to this for a second while I look for something. No, we won't because that's a commercial. So we're going to go away from the commercial and continue. Let me see if there's anything else here. There's a tweet here about Pete Hegseth. These people are absolutely going crazy over Pete Hegseth. I got this one that says, Politico unintentionally building grassroots support for Pete Hegseth by leading with this quote on background from a, quote, defense industry lobbyist. One assessment was more blunt. Who the F is this guy, said a defense industry lobbyist who was granted anonymity to offer candid views. The lobbyist said they had hoped for someone who actually has an extensive background in defense. That would be a good start. Sorry, you didn't get your way. Gonna have to deal with it. Oops. Sorry. Too bad. It's Pete Hegseth until you can think you can try to get somebody else. I'm looking on Caroline Levitt's page to see if she's posted anything else, and nothing has been posted. That entire Tucker thing was complete lie. They didn't do anything about that. Let me see if any other news about they're talking about the Senate leader. Nope, don't see anything. Now I do see that they're trying to basically see if they can get Bob Casey out of Pennsylvania. Hey, let me show you this, in case for those of you who haven't seen it. This is the video of Kamala Harris sitting next to Joe Biden. Look at that. That's some cold shoulder stuff right there. She never even looks at her as she's coming to her seat. Never even looks at her. Doesn't turn, doesn't offer a hand, and she doesn't either. Yeah, that's not happy to see me right there. Wow. Wow. That was just coldness. Absolute coldness. But what do you expect? I mean, she tried to do all kinds of stupid stuff, and they're done. All right. Let me see if there's anything else new here, I think. Nothing new yet. I'm looking to see. So Rick Scott is out. All right, so we're pretty much caught up at this point, and we're just waiting to see if Trump comes out. Hey, lobbyist, Pete is a warrior. You are a girly man. The cat fight. I mean, they're sitting like arm's length away, and she didn't even look at her. Didn't even. I want nothing to do with you. Wow. And they were both in public. They had to know they were in public. And you're telling me Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, neither one of them said, hey, listen, we're on camera. Can we at least make it look good? Can I shake your hand, give you the fake hug or something? No. Not even going to look at you. Wow. Is Trump having lunch at the White House? I hope not. I hope he doesn't eat nothing there, don't drink nothing there. We don't know. Let's see. When evil turns on evil. Yeah, that was definitely them. So I'm waiting for them to come back and see if Trump takes any comments. Being that Susie Wiles is controlling him that way, who knows? Let's see. They're taking it out on each other. This is funny. Yeah. You booted me out, so I couldn't be the first lady anymore, and you couldn't win, you sorry ass. Cold shoulders for sure. Where is the joy? There was no joy there. There was no joy there whatsoever. Hey, Barry, you better order out for lunch. Oh, man, I'm not ordering out. My wife made last night this amazing pork butt. And I mean simply amazing pork butt. So what we're waiting on, it looks like John Thune is going to come out and talk. Let's see what...
The vote for Senate Majority Leader, he'll be taking to the microphone at any moment as he prepares to lead that agenda that House Speaker Mike Johnson tells me is a well-designed playbook prepared to execute with precision alongside House Speaker Mike Johnson, should he remain in that role. And he, of course, has the support of President Trump. That was the reporting out of the congressional meeting today. We're also waiting at any moment to hear from Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. She will be joined by Jake Sullivan, National Security Advisor. Now, this comes after her Thursday briefing, which was very interesting, and this was a little different sounding than what we had heard from Karine Jean-Pierre in the past. She was pressed several times, I heard it myself, from several reporters to criticize President Trump. She declined to do so. She talked about a peaceful transition of power, maybe taking a note from her boss, Joe Biden, who talked about lowering the temperature. So we will watch with great intrigue today Karine Jean-Pierre as she comes out, takes that podium, and talks to us about a historic meeting that we all watched live. You know, as I look at this, Harris, in this meeting that took place,
we didn't get to watch it live. All they did is show us them shaking hands and a couple words, so we have no idea what was said. And I don't know if they're still meeting. I've been refreshing X to see if anybody has any update as to what's going on. The person I like to look at is Caroline Levitt. She's his press secretary for now, or rather transition spokeswoman. I don't see anything from her, so I'm not really sure what, if anything, is going on as of right now. It's kind of hush-hush all over the place. Maybe to make sure that they don't give out a lot of different things. The press is all outside watching to take a glimpse of Trump. And check this out. This is from CNN. Let me push this up. CNN shows this cut of people just hoping to get a glimpse of Trump out on the steps of the White House. So all the staffers are out there. They know their jobs are pretty much over. It's over. You're done. So that's the only thing. It says it's really stunning. Even his detractors recognize the magnitude of this moment, of this man coming back to the White House. So there's little things and pieces coming out, but nothing really showing Trump doing anything. Looking absolute dream team. No, so we're just waiting, I guess, on Thune to come talk, and then the podium is still set up outside the White House to see if he's gonna come and talk about anything. But as of right now, everybody, all the networks, I'm clicking back and forth to see what's going on, and nothing as of yet. Nothing. So we're up to date. We're just waiting on seeing what exactly is going to happen. I do see a lot of people complaining about Thune. Marina, what is her name? How do you pronounce her name? Anna Paulina Luna says that Senate Majority Leader John Thune is Mitch McConnell 2.0. I don't know if that's fair to say. We haven't seen him do it yet. We'd love to see him actually, do something different and not be Thune 2.0, but we don't know. We just don't know what's happening at this point. But anyway, the two of them are meeting. We're still waiting. They're making small talk. Let's go ahead and listen in and see what they're saying before Thune takes the microphone, and we can talk about that.
President Biden saying maybe we can make sure we accommodate what you need. Those words, think about that is incredibly important after all that those two went through, after that debate stage, and all the words that have been exchanged, all the jabs that have been made. Maybe we can make sure you have everything you need, accommodate you how we can. We're looking forward to a smooth transition. There was a possibility of this not happening. This did just happen. And we should respect this moment, right? And we should remember this moment. And it's an incredibly important visual for the country and for the world that this just happened.
It is. Emily, I want to talk about some shade that I picked up on. Maybe it's just me. I'll leave it to viewers to decide. But on Monday, there was this interesting moment where Jill Biden allegedly kind of shunned Kamala Harris at a Veterans Day event. That's what the camera showed. Could be more to that. She wore red on Election Day. She wore red today. And then she handed President Trump a thank you note that is handwritten. This could all be very kind and diplomatic and coincidence, but it is interesting to see the First Lady kind of lean in a way we hadn't seen her to the Trumps.
Yes, and there have definitely been a lot of reports about Jill Biden, snubbing Kamala Harris. And I think the infighting within the party of many blaming.
It's not a report. We saw the video. We actually saw the video of her shunning Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is nothing but a futile memory at this point. All she is fodder for people who want to shave their heads and look stupid. She is turned into an internet meme overnight. Here we are 7 days removed from the election and nobody's talking about Kamala Harris. She's done. Once she leaves Annapolis and the mansion of the vice president, unless she runs for office in San Francisco, she's done. You'll never hear from her again. unless she goes on MSNBC and becomes a host over there. But other than that, she's got there's nothing for her. Do you think that they're scared that Trump is coming for them? Biden doesn't look scared. I mean, seriously, he looks relieved. They are working for Trump. They voted for him. I would bet money on it. And I believe you're talking about Jill and Joe at this point. Yeah, maybe Joe wants something. All right, so let's have a little poll here, a simultaneous poll. Should Trump pardon Hunter Biden? I know people are freaking out, but should Trump pardon Hunter Biden? And don't say Biden should pardon Trump, because he can't. The case up with Judge Merchant is a New York case. It is not federal. There's nothing to pardon him from. He's already dissolved the Jack Smith cases. So what if there was some form of quid pro quo? I blink. I drop all these cases against you. We drop them all. And you go ahead and pardon Hunter. You want that deal? Ooh, you guys are, oh, wow. Ooh, no, hell no, no. Oh my God, no pardon for Hunter. Hell to the no. Ooh, you guys are coming out with fangs. No pardon. You get nothing, sir. Wow. Well, it's overwhelmingly, looking at the all of the information, things that you guys just said, I bet you it's about a 90-10 in terms of no, do not pardon him. No, after everything they put Trump through, no deals. Hell no. Emphatically. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I got one yes from Jen. I got a few yeses. Here's one from Jen and another one from a few other people. But, no, and no. Wow, you guys are hard. You guys are hard, man. I said yes with stipulations, drug rehab, and community service, giving them a second chance. Not after the way they went after my president. You guys really think Hunter will get charged? He's already charged. We're talking about he already got convicted. So, law and order. Well, you guys have spoken. You absolutely have spoken and said it would diminish Trump's integrity for him to pardon Hunter Biden. Susan Collins is up for re-election in Maine, so she could be in trouble. Okay, gotcha. Franklin Graham congratulates Christie. No. Well, you guys have spoken. I can see it here. Easily 90% have said no deal. No deal. You're going to go. He's a pedo. Oh, well, see, that. Yeah, there's no pardoning that. There's no pardoning that. Yeah, no contrition. Remember, because in the back of my mind, what I was thinking is Jack Smith and Merrick Garland has probably gone on vacation already. Merrick Garland's like, I'm packing up. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. So he's gone. And they told Jack Smith, you need to resign before January. Take the holidays and go do, milk as much money and salary as you can. Take your severance and you get out. So I was just wondering if possibly there was some kind of quid pro quo where they stopped doing the facilitating the trial with Jack Smith in hope that Trump would say, we're going to let you go and not charge, But I'm seeing you guys. Ooh. Oh man, Trump needs an ass kissing first. Oh boy, good thing Hunter ain't got you guys in his jury. Oh my goodness, no, and hell no. Remember Steve Bannon? Yeah, okay. Wow, no pardon. So basically, you guys are like I kind of feel. No deals, no deals. You had a chance. You tried to shoot the man. You tried to do all these different things. No deals. No more. Yeah. Okay. I get it. I'm not going to fight it. I didn't have any strong feelings either way. But now I see the light. This is something that Charlie Kirk posted a little while ago. Let me move the Charlie Kirk posted this. John Thune is Senate Majority Leader. He has a short window to show us he will support Trump, fill his cabinet, confirm his judges, and pass his agenda. If he does, we'll support him. If he doesn't, we'll work to remove him. I think that kind of underscores how everybody feels at this point. Either get the job done or get out the way. It'll be that simple. See, Marjorie, that's a parody account. Now everyone's, I don't know if you guys saw this. This caused a lot of people to wonder. Have you seen this? That's Dan Bongino, his account. He posted this picture himself when Trump came to his office to interview him. So in that regard, is he giving a signal there that something might be happening? I don't know. I really don't know if that would be the case. Would be cool. Would definitely be cool if Bongino would be the Secret Service director. Too effing late for deals. Gotcha. Let's see here. Even Hillary, if time is not out, go after all of them. Let's see. No Way Hunter. Hunter who? Steve Bannon. Yeah. All right. So I got you. I hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear. Prosecute the guilty and leave the rest alone. Down with that. What will he do exactly? He let Clinton off the hook, so why not? I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't let any more of these people off the hook, as you say. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to wait before I cut the stream. Let's see if Thune comes out. Trump and Biden might be locking horns in this meeting. I don't mean that from a bad way. I just mean like they may be talking and talking, because I'm not seeing anything that indicates he's coming out anytime soon. I keep checking his press secretary, Caroline Leavitt. I got nothing. I keep checking his Truth Social. Got nothing. Let's see. Nothing's being posted. So a lot of quietness. As you can see, they're still waiting on both podiums for the press secretary and the podium for John Thune are both empty. So they're not ready to come out and say anything. So they both might be waiting and letting Trump and Biden talk. Remember, they met at 11 a.m. It is now 1 p.m. almost. Let's listen to this.
This is a housewarming, if you will, a celebration. Even though there are still outstanding races, Republicans appear poised to maintain control of the House, giving the president-elect the trifecta he needs to move forward with his priorities in his administration and his agenda quickly. He opened today to members here with a message of gratitude.
So I just want to thank everybody. You've been incredible. We worked with a lot of you to get you in. And you helped me, and you helped me too. We won the majority by 7.1 million. We won, which is great, because Republicans aren't supposed to be winning the majority.
Upon arrival, Trump received a standing ovation. Just a portion of the president-elect's remarks were on camera. A source inside, though, told me that the crowd gave a hearty laugh when he joked that he can't seem to get rid of Elon Musk. Musk was with him in Mar-a-Lago, also in attendance with him here today. Trump also complimented his choice for vice president and his chief of staff, calling Susie Wiles, quote, the most powerful woman in the world. So while Republicans are likely to secure the House, it's going to be by a smaller margin, with administration roles going to Congresswoman Elise Stefanik and Congressman Michael Waltz, so they're not going to want to lose any more. And later today, just in a few hours actually, they're going to be holding their leadership elections. There was some talk of an alternative nominee getting propped up to compete with House Speaker Mike Johnson. A conservative member told Fox News earlier today that that is not likely to happen. Emily?
Alexandria, thank you. All right.
Did y'all catch that? Was it just me who caught what she just said, that Elon Musk is with him at the White House? I mean, let me know if you heard what she just said. Elon Musk traveled with him, so he's like going everywhere. In fact, he joked, I can't get rid of him. Is he the de facto vice president number 2? Because he's latched on to Trump and is going everywhere with him. I did not know that until that woman just commented on it. I didn't see Elon in any of the videos or anything else. But is Elon Musk travel? Did Elon Musk travel with him to the White House? Would love to know that. because it's something that Elon posted today that kind of made me sit up when I heard what they just said. I want you to see this, which Elon has posted. He says, the world is suffering slow strangulation by overregulation. Every year the noose tightens a little more. We finally have a mandate to delete the mountain of choking regulations that do not serve the greater good. We, huh? Who's we? Because you're a private citizen, you're part of Doge right now, but he said we. So no wonder he's been shadowing President Trump, because he and Vivek are about to just do some stuff, do some damage. Gotta love it. Gonna deregulate so much stuff. He actually put together his own logo too with the Doge guy. So that was just very interesting. I don't know if you guys caught that. And if you caught it, let me know. And he's traveling with him all over the place. I didn't even realize. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah. Sometimes you have to listen to the words these people say, because they say it so fast. Yeah, so Elon's been traveling with him the entire time. And, like Trump joked, they can't get rid of him. Like, whoa, slow that down right there, honey. What do you mean he's been with him and he's now at the White House with him? How did you explain that to Joe? By the way, hey, how you doing, Joe? It's my boy, Elon. He's going to be looking around, taking some measurements and stuff, okay? Okay? It's one of the things you don't see. When Trump comes off the plane, they obviously focus on him, and they take him all the way down until he gets in the limo. They should have a separate camera like, who else is getting off this jet? Oh, that's Susie Wiles. Oh, that's Caroline Levitt. That might be Alina Habba. Oh, that's Dan Scavino. Oh, this is the force, all the arms guys that come along with him. And then, oh, that's Elon. Or did Elon fly his own jet? I don't know, but she said it. She did. She said. I can't rewind real quick. I love the fact that Elon is not just working with him, but he's traveling with him to these high-profile meetings. They said the other day when he talked to Zelensky, he handed him the phone. Hey man, talk to Vlad here. Yeah, you're not getting any more. You're done. We're cutting. That's it. Hope it all works out for you. Talk to you later. You're done. Not getting any more. Not getting any more money from us. Because I'm here now. I'm with the family. Literally. This is going to be great for my personal economy. Oh yeah, it's going to be great for everybody's personal economy. Elon is watching and listening, which means you gotta have to wonder. Did Elon somehow... Oh, wait a minute. He probably already had it. That's a stupid question, Barris. I was going to say, how did Elon get a security clearance? But because he does all this stuff with the rockets and everything, and with NASA, he probably already has a security clearance. So he doesn't have to worry about it. You have one of these? Oh, I got one of those. Here's mine. Let's go. You think about that. Everyone who's been talking crap about Elon, he's listening on this and he's doing this and he's doing that, and they're complaining about it. And it literally just dawned on me, with all of his contracts and with flying people back and forth from the space station and he probably has a security clearance. I would almost say there's no doubt that Elon Musk has a security clearance. How high, I don't know. But he obviously has one because of what he does with the government. He's got so many secrets in what they're doing and when they're flying stuff up and when they're launching stuff. And he obviously has a security clearance. And so Trump probably looked at that and said, how high is your security clearance? Well, I'm a XYZ5. Oh, okay, so you can pretty much do anything you want. See, I'm not well versed on security clearances. Maybe some of you guys in here who've been in the military will know it. But if he's got I wonder how high of a security clearance he actually has. That would be something to really dig into already. He already does have security clearance. He's had it since SpaceX. Yeah, but how high? It says he probably has a very high security clearance. Yeah. I saw the video. He was introduced. Okay, so he's basically turned into Trump's Luca Brasi, huh? or Tom. They adopted him as one of Trump's sons. Oh my goodness, that's too funny. He probably has the highest clearance there is. Interesting. If any of you guys in the military know about this, you know how high. I heard him say he was top secret. Okay, that would explain it. I just happened to think of that. He has major security clearance. Yeah. Just happened to think about that because you're sending rockets and the payloads and what they're sending up there and what they're doing. He would have to know everything because you need to know the weight. You need to know how big things are, what they are. Is it going to counteract with the rocket and cause problems? I mean, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I'm pretty sure I need to know everything you're putting in the boxes. Okay, so now you have a top secret security clearance. So yeah, he can go with these meetings with Trump and here, go ahead and talk to Zelensky, man. I'm done talking to him. Who's this? It's Elon. What the hell do you want? I'm just going to let you know you ain't getting any more money. You're done. Wow. Yeah, people are saying, does Trump have the power to eject Thune? No, he doesn't. Somebody just said something. Q level is for the Secret Service. Q clearance. Let's see here. I'm trying to see. Some people are robot highest security. All right, so then we all learned something together. It just kind of dawned on me when she said that he traveled with him and they went together and they did this. And I'm like, oh, number one, I understand you're on Trump's jet. You're his boy, but you can just show up at the White House and talk to people on the phone. See, that's the kind of thing when people say, Elon's talking to world leaders, they didn't think about it. He's already got the clearance to do so. So, and who knows? You're right again, because he just doesn't have the United States as one of his clients. He's sending Starlinks here and there, and so he has the ability to talk to world leaders, so he must have a high security clearance. Love it. I love it. All right, so I'm going to wait to see what's the next when they get back from this commercial, because we've been going for 2 hours here and doesn't seem like Trump is coming out yet. I don't know how long this meeting is. Maybe I'll have to cover it at 3 o'clock if they don't, and the other two people aren't coming out to the podium yet. So let's see what they do. I'm looking at some different things, and I don't see yet what kind of. We're still on commercial. That's one of the things. That definitely ain't showing somebody's commercial. But nobody's reporting on anything beyond. Some people are talking about the UFO. I got another question for you. Are you guys worried about UFOs? I mean, we could talk about that today, later on at the 7 o'clock show. But UFOs is supposed to be something, but that's basically taking things way back from where we are today. Oh, okay, so I got a video of Elon Musk. Somebody said there was a video. I was trying to find it here in the background. Let's take a look at this. So Trump was talking to the House GOP when he first got to Washington. And here is check this out. It says, Elon Musk gets a standing ovation from House Republicans this morning. And there he is. Sitting in the front row, the House Republicans saluting him, giving him props, and there's Trump up on stage. So let me see if he says anything on it. Hold on. No, he just pointed to him and said, "There's Elon right there." So, yeah, he's traveling with him. That was a little bit tidbit of information that a woman didn't say. I mean, actually told us. So that was some breaking news as far as I'm concerned, that Elon Musk is now traveling with Trump, basically where all these different meetings that he's going to. Let's check in one thing else here. They're talking about Pete Hegseth.
John Ratcliffe for CIA director. and former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee for U.S. Ambassador to Israel. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are set to lead a new Department of Government Efficiency. Now, the temporary agency will partner with the White House and Office of Management and Budget to drive structural government change. This is one of the biggest appointments, ensuring that that civil service class does not undermine the people's president. So we'll see what happens there. But Emily, obviously, for all of us on this couch, knowing Pete Hegseth, what a brilliant mind he is. I remember sitting on the couch with him, guest co-hosting over the weekend on October 8th, the day after the October 7th attack, and watching Pete at 4:58 a.m. at a map, naming all the countries in the Middle East, how they interplayed, the various actors within. He is a brilliant foreign policy mind.
Yes, ma'am. I feel like when your brother wins the Super Bowl, like it just, we know when we announced it last night, I was here at Fox and there were cheers all over the floor. He is a phenomenal individual, a phenomenal patriot, an extraordinary warrior, and I am honored that he is our Secretary of Defense and so proud.
So if you see in the lower right hand, the box there, nobody's coming to the stage. So what I'm going to do, just so you guys aren't stuck here all day, I'm going to record both those, the White House press briefing, and I'm going to record Thune. And if Trump, I mean, they're now past almost at 2 hours in terms of the meeting with the White House. Doesn't look like at this point that he's coming out. So I'm not sure what's going on in that regard. They have not cut back to the outside space where the microphone podium was outside. They keep showing the White House. Nothing's happening. I'm pretty sure the reason why we're not seeing Karine Jean-Pierre talk is because she's obviously waiting for Trump and Biden to get done. So they've been talking for 2 hours now. There's been nothing posted by Caroline Leavitt, who is Trump's guy. Trump's woman in terms of communications. So whatever they're talking about, which we will probably never hear in detail, we may get bits and pieces, but I will talk about that at the 3 o'clock show. Just going to wait. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until 1 to see if she comes out. Is Vivek there too? No, I didn't see Vivek. He did introduce him. Digital currency is wait a minute, are they going to commercial again? My God, these people go to so many damn commercials, it's not even funny. Spiritual, thank you, Barry, thank you. So 3 o'clock, it looks like we'll come back and I'll have a recording, and something tells me after they break this meeting, after they break this White House meeting, there's going to be a lot of news for this afternoon show, which is fine. Gives me stuff to talk about. I can show you guys some video, and it's 1 o'clock now, so you guys can go get some lunch, and then we'll reconvene. Let me jump to the super chats. I still have the window open in case something happens, but let's conclude this one. What do we have here? Thank you very much from Michael Dixon. William Flanagan from Canada. Jeff Skunk Baxter has security clearance. Jeff Skunk Baxter from the Doobie Brothers has security clearance. The senators just slapped President Trump in the face because he wanted Rick Scott to be leader. How disgraceful. Well, we'll see how big of a slap it actually was. Jeff 26, no worries, folks. Wait till they start releasing files. Then there will be no more deep state, and all the rhinos will be gone as well. Yeah, those files should be huge. Glenn Arwood, thank you. I think they made a deal after the first attempt. They removed Joe Biden. Yeah, could be. Todd Doyle, Biden will make transition smooth as possible when the shit hits the fan. He wants to walk away and retire with his family, including Hunter. So you're thinking deal. Okay. Hey, knucklehead, just no knucklehead. Henner's a good guy to have on your team, party dude. He brings the good stuff to the party. Tommy Ratcliffe, thank you. No coming around or fooling around, great Scott. Faith Taylor, hello Faith, you had a beautiful picture. Answer to the Trump POTUS on fanfare from Grok. Okay, I got you. Greg Barth, thank you very much. Let me go to this next button here. Tim Sparry, I have a cat named Picasso. What an artistic, creative sculpture. It leaves a statue of Biden in the kitty litter box. Oh, that's too funny. the Donald Donovan, the 22nd Amendment limits the number of times a person can be elected to the office of the president. I agree. Kelly Bennett, thank you very, very much. Thank you, MAGA. I'm still watching the monitor while we're doing this to see if anything happens after they come back from a commercial. From TuneIn, drop out the Senate as a separate branch of government was probably pushing back against becoming a rubber stamp for Trump, or at least the appearance of such. Wow, Tim Sparry, thank you very much. Mr. Cunningham, sir, thank you and everyone so much for your patriotism and strength. My son is a captain in the 101st Airborne Rangers. Their morale and love. Okay, thank you very, very much. Just another knucklehead again. Change of subject. What happened with the longshoreman strike? Did we get brought to our knees? No, the longshoreman strike's basically they kicked the can. It's coming back around in January. So Trump's going to have to deal with that. They just moved it and they agreed to basically postpone the strike, but it is coming back in January. Denise Voorhees, the position needs to be someone that has been in a combat zone and actually fought in a combat zone, young and a refreshing choice. I agree with that. I completely agree with that. They're coming back on. Oh, wait a minute. He's done. He's done. Trump's leaving.
Outside the White House, where President-elect Donald Trump has just left the White House. That's his motorcade right there, after meeting for well over an hour and a half with President Biden. Now, remember, their comments on camera were very short last hour, and we've been playing that for you because this moment in history is huge. Those two men have gotten together. We know that there were expectations of a peaceful transfer. They both talked about that, a peaceful transition. This was the precursor to that, and they both acknowledged that's the goal, and they were, as Trump put it, it's a nice day in the world today. We also know that the First Lady, Jill Biden, handed a letter of purpose about peaceful transition. It's called a letter of readiness, and we have not learned exactly what's in that. So now Trump has left the White House, and America Reports now.
All right, so there you have it. No statement. Back into the motorcade, up on Trump Force One, heading back to Palm Beach, I would presume. No statement. Nearly an hour and a half, almost 2-hour meeting. Now we'll see Thune probably come out because now they know Trump has made his way out. We'll probably see Karine Jean-Pierre do the same thing because at this point, it's over. Whatever they talked about, it's done, and we won't get a readout, which means he's going to get back on the plane. So probably at 3 o'clock, we're going to have a bunch of stuff to talk about. True Social always has the news out first. No, not first, but it's the real news, put it that way. Because I've noticed that Caroline Leavitt will often post something before it hits True Social. The coordination of it is who knows who's posting on social versus her posting it, but not always first. Robert Vasquez, thank you very much. Jose Bazil, did that post? Yes. Burying away, I'm glad 2020 happened. It was for a reason, come to think about it, to expose it all. I agree. Labito 447, what's your take on Marco? I don't remember him fighting that hard for 47. Yeah, I know a lot of people have had a problem with Marco Rubio. I think he could be good, especially in talking to some of the nations like Mexico and some of these nations that I think a Latin person would be strong with. In regards to him fighting with Trump, and again, what I'm going to go back to is if Trump names him, wait a second, let's go back to here and hear this. Okay, hold on.
Behind closed doors in that meeting.
We know that President Trump was here a lot longer than his schedule showed us. Nearly 2 hours on campus. We don't know how much of that was in the Oval Office with President Biden. And the huge group of reporters that was kind of forming a crescent moon shape outside of the West Wing with hopes that Donald Trump would come and give us a readout himself of what happened is breaking up because he decided just to get in the motorcade, head back to Trump Force one, they're going to let the Biden side have the first crack at writing this first draft of history of this historic meeting when Karine Jean-Pierre and Jake Sullivan step to the podium any minute now. They told us they wouldn't start until Donald Trump left. He's gone. And the whole part of this meeting that they let cameras in for was short enough. We don't have to clip any of it. This is what happened.
Well, Mr. President, I was right. They were holding back the briefing and John Thune until after Trump left. So Karine Jean-Pierre is going to come out there and do a song and dance and say what she wants to say, which I don't really. I'd rather hear what Trump has to say. Tommy Radcliffe, take the trash. Oh yeah. What's it say? Taking up the trash, making copies, the dumpster, Donnie JT, Downer Raider. Oh man, I don't think that KJP is going to tell us what we really want to hear. Trump is trying to talk to Biden, but you can tell Trump's pissed, and for good reason. Yeah, we're not gonna get a readout or anything except for what Trump wants to say later. That's why 3 o'clock would be good. So you guys need to show up. Thank you, Jennifer. Oh, hey, Tommy Radcliffe again. I'm 63, was a real rock star in the 80s on the radio. All the women cheating all the time. Then Lord Jesus Christ saved me. Very nice. I live in my own recording studio. Very, very nice. Congratulations. Congratulations on the change. Disco Mama, Barry, thanks for putting out the truth. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really try to make sure I do that. Barry, you need to get One American News on your TV. I have it. I just use this one. No big deal. Intrigue Tech, maybe we should send White House employees boob towels. Oh, that's too funny. And just from another knucklehead again. And today, King Trump goes to visit Gollum in the White House. That's harsh, man. That's very harsh. But you're right. You're absolutely right. I hope I didn't forget anybody. I did forget somebody earlier today. From yesterday, Jeff 26. No more worries, folks. Wait till they start releasing files, and there will be no more deep set, and all the rhinos will be gone as well. SV had told me yesterday when I was doing last night's super chats that I forgot a few people, or just they just came in late. So let me just go ahead and acknowledge them right now. This is from, who's this? Let me see this. Miss Fabulous. Thank you very much. She wanted to know, is Trump going to reduce the size of our national park? I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. And then I also missed one from Claire Butterfield. Claire Butterfield said thank you very much as well. So that's the early show here, and that was the news. I'm sure we're going to have some news once Trump hits the ground in Palm Beach, or from the airplane. He may drop something. And so I'll be looking closely to see what we're going to be looking at for the 3 o'clock show, and anything that might be pertinent about Trump, I will go ahead and make sure I bring that to you. Other than that, go have some lunch. See me back here at 3 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in early. Think it was definitely useful, and I'm all in on Pete Hegseth. Talk to you at 3 o'clock.